We kind of saw this coming, right? But Kotaku now confirmed that there is no year 2 plan for Odyssey after interviewing the Odyssey developers. So let's go over the news in this video. Would be awesome if you could leave a like on the video as it shows your support. And let's go. Congrats Elijah Haas for winning the Oracle pack. I reached out to you via the email, so reply back to get your code to unlock this pack. And I will start a new giveaway or reopen the Lawgiver pack giveaway for when they announce that that will be the next pack coming to the game. So for now, no giveaway, but when we know more about the next pack, I will make a new giveaway. At E3 2019, the new game from the developers of Odyssey was announced, Gods and Monsters, that will already come out on February 25th, 2020. I will have a big video about this game up later, since I interviewed the developers as well, and there they confirmed to me that the whole Odyssey team inside Ubisoft Quebec, but also from around the world, is working on this game. There is still a Assassin's Creed Odyssey team inside Ubisoft Quebec, finishing up the Atlantis DLC and joining the Gods and Monsters team when they are finished, and it should be about now, right? Because the third and final episode of the DLC is set to launch in July. So yes, then it kind of makes sense that we have no year 2 plans for Odyssey, because they are all hands on deck on this new game that is already coming out in February. The year 2 plan is, according to Ubisoft, here is the story, now create your own stories. And it's true, of course, that the game now basically has an endless amount of quests created by the players, and Ubisoft will support this feature depending on the amount of people that use it. And I think it's pretty successful so far. As I told you before, I went to Ubisoft Quebec to check out this feature before it was out and create a quest that I then showcased live during E3. And there I met the team that was working on this feature for a few years already. And they were a pretty small team that will be supporting this feature for the foreseeable future, and then likely joining the Gods and Monsters team after that. So then they really moved on. Then we don't really have a lot of people working on the game anymore. We will still see some quests made by Ubisoft though. This Tuesday we will see the latest one about Herodotus, and Kotaku now confirms that these missions will wind down soon too. Like at this point, I'm sure that they finished all the Lost Tales of Greece missions already and will just be rolling them out each month until they've released them all. We know at least of 2 of these missions that will come later, the Old Flames Burn Brighter and the Socrates' Trial. I can see maybe one more if they want to add new ones each month till the release of the Discovery Tour that Kotaku says will likely be added in September. By the way, a quick side note, as far as I know, the Discovery Tour is made by Ubisoft Montreal, so not in-house at Ubisoft Quebec. I'm not sure if Kotaku is just guessing a September release date or if they know something. Ubisoft only said the fall, so it could be October, November or December as well, but I think September makes a ton of sense too. I asked for a new and likely final interview with Bruno, the live content director on Odyssey, to just ask some more things about what we can expect in the coming months. So hopefully I will be able to interview him and talk about the future of the game and learn more about what is coming next, and ask about some mysteries that remain unsolved until this day. So maybe we finally know what happened to the straw hat that Thomas said he looted from a mercenary as a drop. Not sure if it's true, but of course the story was that it was first not available and then only available in certain blacksmiths, and now no one can find it anymore. I will totally ask about this, but your input is more than welcome in the comments as well. So if you want to know anything about the post-launch from Odyssey, then put your suggestions in the comments, so I might be able to ask them to the post-launch content director in an interview. Overall, the post-launch for this game has been pretty good, like insane actually, with a ton of free stuff and pretty fun paid DLC. It's not the years of content that the Ubisoft CEO promised at E3 2018, but for a single player game, it's pretty insane. And they also mention in the interview from Kotaku that the player engagement for the game is higher than some of the multiplayer games from Ubisoft that basically have an endless amount of content because you can play the match over and over over and have a different experience. And I like see that as well, like as someone covering Odyssey since the release and even since it was revealed. Where with Origins, at one point it was like, okay, but what's the point? There's nothing more to do in the game. With Odyssey, there was always something to look forward to or quest in the world or locations that you haven't completed yet. Yes, the post-launch did not release without its issues. The second episode of The Legacy of the First Blade immediately comes to mind. I did not really like that, and many of you of course with me. I just forgot that that happened, and it totally made my overall enjoyment of the game better. No, but overall I really grew to love Odyssey more and more over time, while normally you would expect the opposite, right? But the new features like the visual customization options and the mastery levels really gave you way more room to customize your character, so I really hope that the next Assassin's Creed will launch with those systems. Yes, the next Assassin's Creed, very likely a launch and reveal in 2020. We of course already talked a lot about the Vikings rumors that seem to be true, so a Viking Assassin's Creed seems to be coming, and those rumors go hand in hand with a potential fall 2020 release. So now that we know that Odyssey will stop after the Discovery Tour, there will be a solid year without anything new regarding Assassin's Creed from Ubisoft if they really do not do anything this fall. As I said many times before, I only believe it when I see it, because then this would really be the first fall since 2009 that we haven't seen anything new related to Assassin's Creed. And don't worry about my content, I will totally be making Odyssey content for as long as there are things to talk about and to cover, and for as long as you keep watching it, of course. Again, leave your questions for the live content director in the comments of this video, maybe I will get a chance to ask them. I also wanted to highlight a good cause that a lot of the members from the Assassin's Creed community started to protect the oceans and its animals by raising money. I donated £5 myself and the goal is almost reached, so I thought maybe we can make it happen. I left a link to the fundraiser in the description, so you can check it out if you want. And let's now focus on the awesome things that are coming up, including the third episode of the Atlantis DLC that looks to be pretty wild. The release is really close, and when we know more about it, I will of course let you know here on the channel. So totally subscribe for everything Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A like on this video would be super appreciated. To check out my previous video on how to get the full Spear of Leonidas for a short period of time, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.